G'day and welcome to Rusty Inspirations. Been looking forward to doing this video for quite some time now. Fixing up all the sloppy holes in all the clutch linkages. See if my plan is going to work the way I want it to. Now the obvious thing to do would be to solder or braze this up. However, I don't have the right equipment to do that at the moment. So instead, I'm going to drill it out, tap a thread in it, and then lock tight or glue a bolt in there. And then put the right size bit through it. And then we'll have a nice tight hole. And hopefully it might be a little bit less sacrificial than this and last a little bit longer. That's my theory anyhow. And then in these ones, we'll weld them up and drill them back out. Now this is actually a 3/16 clevis pin. It's an inch long, which is a bit longer than what we want, but we've got the right size coming, but it'll do for today. I've actually got these for the clutch drum, but the diameter's right, so it'll get us by today. Now from what I could work out, 4.8 millimeters is gonna be close enough to 3/16. So we'll run with that. I've got a 3/8 bolt here. Got the tap to suit. Now I looked on Google, and for a 3/8 tap, they want to drill a 5/16 hole, which is close enough to 8 millimeters for my liking. So, first things first, we're going to drill this out. This drill is naturally going to want to center to this hole, which is going to land me further up this end. I sort of want it to be central with this piece. Got this old spot weld drill bit. There's a flat end rather than your traditional drill bit. I'm hoping that it's all nice in the drill press that I could get it to drill where I want it to rather than where the drill bit naturally wants to go. Wish me luck. I don't think that's going to work, but I have got another plan, so we'll see how we go. A fair bit more central than it originally was. Just put the normal drill bit through it now. Quite a lot more central than what it was, so I'm fairly happy with that. Got a center mark there. Central it is on the other end. Not too bad. So we're only going to use this part, so I reckon it'll be fairly good. It'll do. Just wondering whether to drill that out now. To the what's that? 4.8. That's not good. I think we're starting again. Just completely wrecked that thread. Oh well, buy another one and go again. Take two. Center. Do this up a little bit tighter this time. And I reckon we might drop the 4.8 straight in. Nice. So now we need this to thread into here. Now I ran this past me mate Patrick and he told me to use epoxy to glue it in and not to use thread locker or Loctite. What Patrick says goes, because the man knows his stuff. I sort of want it up here a bit more, don't I? Sort of starts running off center. I've made a bloody mess of this. Suppose if there's excess, we'll just clean it up somehow. I don't know. Less is more, more is less. I don't know. Probably regret this later. I've made a mess. Fingers crossed. Oh God. Alright, let it dry, see how it goes. Cures in 15 to 24 hours. Allow 4 to 6 hours before handling. And 15 hours minimum before putting objects back in use. Well, that looks like a tomorrow job, so we'll put that on the shelf. And we might weld these up. Now I'm thinking I'm just gonna do one at a time so that I can measure to get it in the same spot, or similar sort of spot. So weld that one, drill it, and weld that one, and drill it based off of that one. So there we go. Just gonna clean it. So we've got the reel to bed knife adjuster bearing carrier off the Supercut that had the end broken off. And it's not good for much else. Not good for its intended use. So it's going to work a treat for this. I'm going to poke this on here. Because of the brass, the weld won't stick to it. And we should end up with a nice flat bit on the bottom of the weld. Use this bit of wire here, just wedge that in, hold itself, and we'll buzz it up. It's looking promising. We had a ridiculous amount of hail last night, like nothing like I have ever seen in Port Augusta in my life. And a lot of older people I know have never seen anything like it here as well, so pretty crazy.
Yeah.
There was like half a dozen spots that had water in the shed. It got my welding helmet and the digital vernier calipers. Like, good old Mr. Murphy, eh? New lenses. All right, fingers crossed it works. Helmet still works. That works pretty good. Firmer than it was on the other side, that's for sure. Load the other side up and definitely didn't come out central again, but alright, I've had to duck off a little bit. Sorry about the rain. A bit noisy. I wasn't happy they weren't centered, so I ended up welding them up again, and I can't really see it. I marked them and drilled them, pre-drilled them I should say. So I'll just pre-drill this side and drill them out. It's a lot better. Definitely a lot more central. Clean the burrs off on the inside. This one to go. It's not too bad, but come this far, we might as well do it. absolute treat. Much happier with it. It was definitely a lot better to mark it and drill it than I was just being lazy, really. So it was worth it. It's nice and tight. Very happy. But obviously that's the wrong pin, as I said earlier. But that's all I can do for tonight till this dries. So come back out tomorrow and finish it off. Alright, so it's had about probably 15 hours to dry. I reckon we'll cut the ends off and see how we go. What we want is that cut to fit over there. So we're going to carefully cut this. Nice little die grinder with a cutting blade on it would be ideal, but I don't have one, so going to go crazy with the angle grinder. Beautiful, probably better than it was new. All right, I'm going to see how it cleans up in the blast cabinet, see if I can get rid of all that old excess epoxy. Alright, so I am absolutely stoked with how that turned out. It turned out exactly how I intended. So yeah, 100 times better than what it was. Should give it a nice crisp feel when you engage the reel now. And I'm sure with regular lubricating it'll last a lifetime. So I am absolutely looking forward to getting this thing back together. So I was hoping to have it done by now, but in reality, it's probably not the end of the world, as probably won't really be able to use it till mid to late October anyway. So I guess we've got another month up our sleeve and we're well and truly on our way. Geordie started painting up some bits for me and he's done a bloody awesome job. So if you're watching, Geordie, thank you very much. And we'll get the next lot off to him shortly, I guess. So in the short time of mucking around with these supercuts, two of mine and one of my neighbour Hayden's, I have noticed some big differences between the three. There's lots of them, so many differences. The obvious one being the different drive types, but yeah, there's so many more. So I'm thinking next week I'm going to do a whole video based on all the differences that I've come across. But if you've got something you'd like to add, send me a message and I'll chuck it in there as well. Until then, look after yourselves and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers, legends. There's no reason you couldn't do these ends as well if you had to. They probably don't wear quite as much. This one's pretty good, but I'm sure some of them are bad. Or even this pivot point, that one's pretty good as well. I'd love $1 for every time I get to this point then realise I didn't take a before picture for the thumbnail. So I'll use this one. How good's that?